Groundhog Day came and went again this year, and like it always does, this movie popped back into my head. Not because I planned it, not because someone reminded me, it just shows up. You see the date, hear the title, and suddenly you're thinking about that alarm clock and that song. It's remembered as a comedy, but that's not why it lasts. It lasts because it's honest about what happens when nothing in your life moves forward. I've seen Groundhog Day enough times that it should feel easy by now, something familiar, something funny. And every time it starts that way, then somewhere in the middle it goes quiet, and that's when it gets you. At first, this feels simple. A sarcastic guy stuck in a small town, reliving the same day. He's annoyed. He's above it all. He can't wait to leave. Phil Connors talks like this part of his life doesn't count, like he's just passing through until something better starts. The movie doesn't argue with him. It just traps him there. What's interesting is how little the movie explains. There's no reason given for the loop, no logic, no answer. It just is. And that matters, because the loop isn't a puzzle to solve. It's pressure. Phil can't move forward. He can't point to progress. All he can do is wake up and be himself again. Without consequences, he doesn't become better. He becomes more honest. Honest about how much he wants control. Honest about how easily he uses people. Honest about how shallow his idea of happiness really is. The movie isn't judging him. It's just letting him be exposed. There's a stretch where Phil does what most people probably would. He eats whatever he wants, says whatever he wants, uses whoever he wants. And for a while, it looks like freedom. Then it doesn't. It just gets empty. Sin doesn't usually collapse in one dramatic moment. Most of the time, it just stops delivering. You keep going back to it, hoping it'll feel the way it used to, and it doesn't. Phil doesn't stop because he suddenly becomes moral. He stops because he's tired. Scripture is honest about that pattern. Sin wears you down, not with lightning, but with emptiness. Eventually, there's nothing left to squeeze out of it. That's exhaustion doing its work. Rita is the one thing Phil can't crack. He learns her preferences, her values, her stories. He performs the right version of himself, and she keeps walking away because she can tell when she's being handled. There's a moment where she tells him he doesn't really know her, and it lands because it's true. He knows information, but doesn't know her. That's not really about romance. That's about posture. You can fix your behavior and still be wrong on the inside. Turns out you don't manipulate your way into love. Eventually, Phil stops trying to win the day and starts trying to end it. Those scenes aren't jokes. They're frustration. He's done. He wants out. And every morning, he wakes up again. No explanation. No escape. Phil stops trying to get out. He starts living like this is his life, even if it never changes. This is where the movie gets quietly smart. Phil starts doing good things, helping people, learning piano, becoming patient, kind, all the stuff that, in another movie, would feel like a checklist. But here's the difference. He's not doing any of it to get out of the loop. His good deeds don't earn freedom. They express it. He's already changed on the inside, and this is just what that looks like on the outside. From a Christian perspective, that's exactly right. Works matter, but they don't save. They don't unlock the door. They reveal who you've become. There's one thing Phil can't change. The old man still dies. No matter how much good Phil does, that doesn't change. That matters. Phil doesn't become powerful. He becomes humble. He learns the difference between caring and controlling. By the time the loop ends, Phil isn't impressive. He's settled. He says he'd be okay, even if the day never changes. And for once, it doesn't sound like a line. It sounds true. And that's when time moves forward. Not because he earned it, not because he cracked the code, but because he stopped needing to escape his life. Groundhog Day isn't just a comedy. It's a story about a man being forced to face himself long enough to change. It lets the day keep going until he finally stops running from himself. And somehow, decades later, that still feels true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Until next time, wake up, pay attention, and always, stay rated.